Took him to the right side this time. One-on-one with Brock. Eli, the back of the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown by Larry Donnell.
Driven out deep to left field. Going back, Jennings on the track at the wall. See ya! A two-run home run for Cano, and the Yankees are on the board.
Schwartz breaks it out. Jeff Kirk with a shot. Got 9 boards. Step.
Hi, I'm Chris Lazaro, and this is
I'm John Capitordo.
I am Cross, and he's the Caps of CrossNCaps, and this is our sports podcast. We're going to, we usually do this on radio, and we just talk about it, but now we're on film today, so we're going to do it a little bit different. We usually give you guys 5 segments. We're going to keep the segments a little bit brief today, we'll do about 5 different segments. We're going to talk a little basketball, we're going to talk a little football, we're going to talk a little baseball. Then we have what we call we have a little game called 2 Truths and 1 Lie, where we basically give each other a few facts about different sports, and we try to detect if the other person's lying, which one they're lying about. In our last category, we like to call the wild card segment. It can be about anything. And today, in honor of being filmed and we are going to talk about our top sports movies of all time. How about that? So, John, anything to add before we... right from the top, we're going to give you also what we call our wicked stat or fact of the week. So we're going to hit you with that in a second. Anything you'd like to add before we begin?
No, I'm ready to go. I got my fact all ready to go.
All right, so what you got for them?
Okay, I'm sticking with my hat. I'm sticking with the Mets. And Syndergaard homered.
Syndergaard
okay.
homered. Bartolo Colon
And
homered.
Bartolo Colon homered.
Very heavy set home run.
This was actually the first time in history of the Mets that 2 pitchers have homered in the same month.
That's incredible. I saw it over and over on ESPN. They kept showing Colon's home run.
Colon was more shocking than Syndergaard.
For those of you who don't know, Bartolo Colon is about probably late 30s right now. He's been in the league for close to 20 years. Yeah. He's eaten one too many Twinkies. He's a very heavy guy, and he hit his first home run of his career. And actually, did you see? I'm just going to add to your stat.
Like 280-something innings or something.
Did you see that there's a guy who got a tattoo of Bartolo Colon hitting a home run? There's a Mets fan. He got a tattoo of Bartolo Colon hitting a home run.
I did not.
Incredible?
I would not.
It's hysterical. Google it. My wicked stat or fact of the week just came out that in honor of Tom Brady being right now he's set to be suspended for 4 games. We all know about Deflategate, et cetera, et cetera. It just came out that Gisele Bündchen, his beautiful supermodel wife, that she was thinking about divorcing him last year when he was going through the whole situation with Deflategate and all the court stuff. And that was because he was, quote, irritating and angry at home. So I just wanted to say that their relationship may not be as, dandelions and rainbows as we all may think it to be. And just to add on to that, I wanted to say they are currently the 3rd highest paid celebrity couple out there. Can you guess who the top and second are? Can you guess?
Angelina Jolie?
No.
I don't know.
The first
Who's
is... The first is actually a brand new couple, Calvin Harris and Taylor Swift. Second would be Jay-Z and Beyonce. Not related to sports, but, for all you pop culture people.
It is related to sports, I guess.
It kind of. Jay-Z, yeah, he owns Rockefeller.
Sure.
Anyway, all right, without further ado, we are going to talk a little basketball as the season is wrapping up. And we're down to almost 4 teams. To stay current here, we're going to give you, right now we have the Golden State Warriors, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Cleveland Cavaliers, And the Heat and the Raptors right now are facing up in a Game 6 to see who's going to eventually play the Cavs. So what do you think, man? The Spurs got eliminated. Everybody was so high on the Spurs. Their experience. Everybody thought that they were going to...
The Spurs, they win, but they're like the most boring team. And they still get Aldridge, and they have Kawhi Leonard, and they're still boring. Like...
You find them boring, really?
Yeah, I do. I don't know why. It's just like I'd rather see Warriors go against Oklahoma City.
Me too. I mean, I absolutely cannot wait to see Russell Westbrook.
It's going to be fun. It's fun to watch.
Can't wait to see Westbrook. You know, if there's one guy in the league you want to see guard Curry, it's Westbrook. He's gonna give it. He's gonna be in his face. He's gonna be in his face the whole game. He might play a 90s style type of basketball. He might actually bump and grind and all those things. He's not gonna. It's gonna be a fun series.
Yeah, I agree.
You say the Spurs are boring though, but
It's just,
did you expect them to lose to OKC?
No, not at all. Especially after game 1, they won by what, 40?
They won by 40.
And then
Everybody was counting OKC out.
and then they come out and they lose, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe it's a good series. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, they're in elimination with down by 20 with 8 minutes left. You're like, okay.
The Thunder's bigs are playing unbelievable. Like Steven Adams and I mean not even Ibaka, but let's see who am I? Oh, Cantor.
Well, yeah,
they're playing unbelievable.
Ibaka had some great blocks on.
He did.
On a couple of guys.
But that lineup, if you play those three bigs, if you play Ibaka with Cantor and Adams, and they don't do it often, and then with Durant and Westbrook, I mean, Golden State's not going to be able to match up with their size.
I agree. But the only thing was Tony Parker didn't play any of the last maybe 8 minutes of that game.
And so
you put it in Andre Miller's hands instead of Tony Parker, where you're like, that was weird to me. Like, you don't put it in your...
Was he not playing well in the series?
I don't know. I mean, he's part of your big three, right? So why not put him in with guys he's been playing with for over, 15 years?
We'd be missing something if we didn't talk about Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, the legend, who is about to retire. Yeah. Or maybe, there's speculation. And everybody's going crazy about why didn't he play at the end of games 4 and 5. They played him in game 6 at the end, and he played pretty well. He shot 50% from the field, and he had 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, what he averaged?
You think he's going to retire?
He averaged like 25 this whole postseason.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
so he's been really good.
You're talking about Duncan.
Yeah, I'm talking about Duncan.
You think he's going to retire?
I think it all depends on Ginobili and Parker.
You think they're going to go out together?
I guess.
Well, Parker's got a few years left.
I mean, why not?
Parker's got a few years left.
I think so too. I think Parker's got a few years. I think maybe Ginobili one more. He's playing in. Isn't he playing?
Ginobili's washed up. Yeah.
But he's playing in the Olympics, I think.
Ginobili?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Argentina needs him. They don't.
They don't.
Who else do they have? They have a couple other pros. But.
It's true, but I think it's all because of Duncan that I feel that it's boring to watch these Spurs.
Yeah, well, I enjoy watching him. I think most people. I enjoy like a good brand of basketball.
Like I think if the Heat do pull this off, they win 2 games in a row, then you'll have Heat and Cavs. I think that'll be great.
To watch a Dwayne Wade.
Then you have Warriors and Oklahoma
Thunder.
City. That would be a great series.
It's gonna be phenomenal. All right, so real quick, who you got? Who's gonna win?
I think the Warriors. With Steph Curry coming back, I think they'll be good.
Steph Curry, we know what he did. We know what he did in that final game against the second to last game against the Blazers. I mean, he scored 17 points in overtime,
Which is nuts.
Unbelievable. One of the best.
I've been watching him since Davidson, so I think
Unbelievable.
He's just.
I got the Warriors also.
Yeah.
I got them. I'm gonna say they win in 6 over the Cavs. They win on the road, game 6. Warriors.
I can't disagree
Book it.
with you.
Book it. Everybody here knows too. Everybody. All right, let's move on to football, okay? Because football is America's game, and John and I are no different. I mean, a part of every single fantasy league and gambling pool that you can imagine. I am a fan of your New York Jets, and who are you a fan of, sir?
I'm a Colts fan, actually.
He's a Colts fan.
I've been a Colts fan since before Peyton.
Lies.
No lies.
Lies.
No lies. When Marshall Falk was the running back.
Did you go to? I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you go to the game when the Jets beat
Yes,
them
41-0?
41-0?
Yeah, I was there.
We went separately, right?
Yeah.
So I went home happy, and you went
I
home
was there.
a little upset. Yeah.
41-0. Yeah.
Was that was a playoff game?
Yes.
It was like in
That was a wild card game.
2007.
It had to be like 2007, 2008. I also was at the Steelers game in Indy when Jerome Bettis fumbled on the 1-yard line. And
Was
then
that like
Harper
a
brought it back and was
conference?
tackled by Ben Roethlisberger, and then Vanderjagt missed a field goal.
Oh wow. When was that?
That was like 09.
Wow. Was that the year the Steelers won?
Yeah.
One of the years the Steelers won. All right, so we're gonna go into. I got here over/unders of some win totals, and just because we're in New York, we're gonna primarily stick with the New York divisions: the Jets division, the Giants division, the AFC East, the NFC East, and I'm just gonna rattle off some over/under numbers that Vegas has for some of you gambling folk out there. John and I might be able to direct you to perhaps win some money or lose some money, depending on if you trust us or not. All right, so let's see what we got here.
All right, let's see.
Okay. I'm just going to go team by team. All right, Buffalo Bills. Vegas has them over under 8 wins on the season. What do you think? Rex Ryan, the ex-Jet
wins.
coach, a little loud.
Well,
Rex
they're gonna
Ryan,
have,
the ex-Jet coach. I can't wait to get my opinion on this.
Patriots 2 games, Jets 2 games, and
Dolphins.
2 games. I think they split with the Dolphins. I think they split with the Jets, and I think they lose both to the Patriots. So that's
Okay.
4. I'd say 4 out of conference. I think I'm going under.
8's a tough number.
I think like
I'm going to go under.
7,
Yeah, I'm going to go
6.
under because I know Rex Ryan very well. Rex Ryan, he's an average coach.
You know him, like, on
I
a
know him
first
very
name-
well.
first
I know him
name
very
basis?
well. If you watch a Bills game, if you watch enough Bills games, he does the same thing that he did with the Jets. It's just ground and pound, and
But he doesn't have those ground and pound guys again. He doesn't have like
who are the running backs right
he doesn't
now?
have like Sean Green or
But he still
you know what I'm
runs.
saying, he doesn't have like
Yeah.
Ivory anymore. Like he doesn't have those guys. So that's why Tyrod Taylor was on my fantasy team. So I watched a lot of the Bills games and stuff.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he was great, but exactly like you said, like he's a defensive coach who doesn't really use his offense
Right.
as much.
Okay.
But that's why I think when they verse an offensive team, they're gonna lose.
I agree. So I got them at 7. All right, next team in the division, Miami Dolphins, 7 over under.
Over.
Dolphins.
I think Tannehill is a great quarterback. I think like he's so
Great?
underrated. Yeah, I think he's
Tannehill's
underrated.
great.
Yeah.
Tannehill's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league.
I think he's
Tannehill does nothing. He's not even, he's like an Alex. He's like an Alex Smith, but a worse version. He's a game manager.
No. I think he's a great game manager. I think that's why he'll win. I think
What
he'll
has he
win more.
won?
I'm
Has
saying
he
he'll
even
win
made
more.
it to the playoffs? I don't think he has.
No, they haven't. They've
It's
gotten
another
better.
system. All
They've
right,
gotten
no, I
better.
got
I
got
think-
them at exactly 7 wins.
Okay.
So,
I think it's over.
all right, let's move on to the Jets. 8 over under 8. Oh, this is easy for me.
So who's their quarterback?
Come on, they're gonna re-sign Fitzpatrick.
They signed.
They might re-sign him tomorrow. I know they drafted a quarterback.
And they
I
signed
know.
him for 4 years.
They signed Fitzpatrick. They did.
No. They signed the quarterback they drafted.
Okay.
4 years.
So they, but
So
the
they're obviously investing
GM's
their
already
time
come
in it.
out. The GM's already come out and say he's willing to put 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Either way, they could get rid of either. They're not going to get rid of Geno, but Bryce Petty, they can get rid of him. It doesn't matter. Either I'm telling you, Fitzpatrick's going to come back. The Jets are going to win 10 games. The Jets are going to win 10 games. That's an easy over/under. I might go put a bet in right after this.
What is it? 9?
8.
8?
8.
I think
They had
it's-
10 wins last
Yeah,
year.
I think it's over. But I just don't. Fitzpatrick is like a risky quarterback.
You think he's like a Brett Favre
Takes
type?
a lot of Brett Favre. Yeah, he's got a lot of touchdowns, but he has a lot of
Gunslinger?
interceptions. You know, it's like catch-22. Like, what are you gonna do?
I think Fitzpatrick is smarter with the ball than Favre. Obviously, he's not as good as Favre, but I love Fitzpatrick.
I think he's better when he has to throw those little passes.
Little dump offs.
Who's their
I don't know, man. I know Decker and Marshall are fantastic, but I think Fitzpatrick had a lot to do with it. That most to do with it. We got to go on to New England. That's the fun one to talk about here because what do you
10?
think their over/under is?
10, 11?
It's exactly 10. And we know right now Brady is set to face the 4-game suspension.
Yeah.
So you have to consider A, if you think he's going to face the suspension, and B, what do you think they're going to do?
I don't even know who that backup is.
Their backup is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Is it still?
Yeah.
I think he'll split 2 games in 2 games. If he's
I agree.
in a 4-game
I
suspension.
think Garoppolo will go 2-2.
So that means that he'll have to win 8 games out of 12.
That's good. That's a good point. Yeah, I'm going to say it's going to be dead on.
I
I'm going
think
to give the Patriots 10.
I think so too. I think it's going to be 10.
Let's go to the Giants division. Let's start with the Giants.
Okay.
What do you think their over-under is? Your New York Football Giants. Odell Beckham, Victor Cruz. Sorry about that. Odell Beckham, Victor Cruz. Beautiful hairstyles.
Eli.
Over-under, 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah.
Over.
Over? I got to go over, too. That's another easy one. I like the
7.5,
Giants,
I think
but
they could easily
there's
win
no
8
bias
games.
here.
They could
I think they're going to win.
I'm not a
They're going to
Giants fan,
surprise
so
people.
that's
I think the Giants are going to win 10 games.
I think so too. I think their defense is a little better. I think they could. I don't know.
Everybody always their defense has been awful the last couple of
It's
years.
almost like
ever since the.
The only reason why I'm saying this is because the other teams in the division you don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the Redskins, the Cowboys. They could be good or bad. So.
You know what? We're about to get to that. So
ahead.
We're both going over for the Giants. Let's hit the Redskins because I just wanted to say, Kirk Cousins is an underrated quarterback. I think he's fantastic.
I have to agree with you.
Redskins over under 7.5.
See, here's the problem. Like, I don't think they'll all be over. So 7.5.
That's true.
If you do actually.
Don't worry, we're gonna hit the Eagles in a second.
If you did 7.5 all, like throughout the NFC East,
Yeah.
someone's got to be under. You know what I'm saying? Like, and which team is that? I don't know. I think it's either the. I think
the
it might be the.
Eagles.
I think it might be the Redskins or the Eagles.
The Giants, the Redskins, the Eagles. Who are we missing? Wait.
Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
I
okay.
just.
All right. Wait. So I'm gonna go. Redskins are gonna have 9 wins.
I think they'll have 8 or 9. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over. Philadelphia Eagles over under 7.5. All the teams in that division over under 7.5.
that's what.
That's
what I was
the
saying, actually.
definition of
what's the
mediocre.
Cowboys?
The Cowboys 9.
Okay. So you got 3 7.5s and 1 9. I think Philly will be under.
Philly, Sam Bradford is atrocious. He is atrocious. That guy, and the fact that he demanded to be traded and he didn't show up to camp, this guy, you can book if there was an over-under on how many games he's going to get injured, I'm taking the under. Because this guy will be injured by week 3. He'll be done. And, I mean, you know what? They got that rookie quarterback that they drafted. Second overall, and he'll probably step in, but they don't have. I mean, look, everybody bashed Chip Kelly. I thought Chip knew what the hell he was doing.
He had a good thing going. I don't know why they got to change everything.
Everybody.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Apparently,
Like,
the players all hated him.
Yeah.
Some of the players, they thought he was an egomaniac. B, they thought he was racist, which he could be a little both of those things. But I think he was still a good football man.
I always thought Popovich was a really nice guy, but
Popovich is an ass. Popovich is an ass. I mean, everybody swears by Popovich.
are you a coach now? You know, you don't know these guys.
From the media.
You don't know these guys until you actually are around them and then figure them out.
Coffee cake Popovich? Coffee cake face?
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, so we got to go to the Cowboys. The Cowboys over under 9.
I think the NFC East is just so tight. So I think the winner will be like 9-7, like something like that.
Cowboys.
Which is what it always is. It always is like that close.
9-7.
It's always coming down to the last game. So
I'm going to go under for the Cowboys,
I
too.
think I'm going to go actually dead on.
8-8.
No, I think they'll be 9-7.
Cowboys. We'll look back on this about 8-9 months from now.
Sure.
When the female that I got pregnant gets the baby out in 9 months. Just kidding. It didn't happen. Okay.
What was her
All
name?
right.
What was her name?
What's your sister's name?
She's married.
I love you, Michelle. Not like that.
Sure.
Okay. All right. You know, we're gonna very quickly go through baseball. Just World Series predictions. Us both being Mets fans. The Mets have a chance this year. Who you got in the World Series?
I think the Mets do have a chance.
You do.
I think it'll come down to either them or the Nationals and the Cubs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the same teams last year except for the Royals. I think.
You think the
know.
Royals are done?
I don't know what happened to them. They're like.
They had this magic. I'll tell you right now. I bet on the Blue Jays Royal Series. I bet on the Blue Jays every game. Well, I love the Blue Jays. I think they have the best lineup in the league. But the Royals had some freaking magic going last year against the Blue Jays and then against the Mets. I mean, the Mets pitchers, the bullpen did blow every game for the Mets, but the Royals had some magic going.
It's just when they needed to score runs, they scored them. And now they need to score runs, and they're not.
Yeah.
You know, they got beat by, the Yankees?
Yeah, they're getting. Yeah, they're not playing well.
So, and the Yankees are horrible, which makes me feel good. Because there's so many years the Yankees have been so good.
Yeah. And the Yankee fans are just. The Yankee fans.
A little obnoxious.
A little obnoxious. And God forbid you have one bad year or two, you know? But who's top in that division right now? The Red Sox are tied with the Orioles, right?
Yeah. Baltimore is on top.
Who's going to come out of the American League this year? Who else is there? Who's in first place in the divisions?
We got Seattle.
Seattle has a good team.
We have Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
And Baltimore and Boston.
I'm going to stick with the Blue Jays. I know they're at 500 right now. I'm going to go, oh man, Met fans will hate me if I don't say the Mets. I'm either going to say the Mets or the Cubs against the Blue Jays. That's my prediction. And the team that comes out of the National League is going to win it.
I think it's either the Mets or Cubs too, coming out. I think they might.
We got in the American League.
I think they might verse each other again, and I'm gonna go with the White Sox. I think they're a surprise
because the White Sox are having a great season.
Yes,
Seattle
has pretty good pitching, but their run support hasn't been there in the past year. So I don't know how they'll do in those situations. So I think teams that have been there before, and I think Theo Epstein is just he's like one of the smartest guys.
He is.
Brings Boston, gets them a championship, and he gives the Cubs a championship. I think he's Hall of Fame ballot right there.
You heard it here first. We'll check back in when that woman gets pregnant about how our predictions went. Well, folks, that will do it for our show this evening on a beautiful spring afternoon here in New York. My name is Chris Lazaro.
My name is John Capitoro.
I'm the Cross. He's the Caps. If you have any comments, any suggestions on what you would like us to talk about, different types of segments, please leave it in the comment section of where this video is posted. And we will see you next time. Absolutely. See ya.